Hi guys, well tonight's video is on maintenance on your telescope. So I'm going to show you how or how not to clean a mirror, depending on how it all turns out. Here's the tools of the trade. I like to use screwdrivers and Allen keys without tips on, because if the ends come off they'll drop down inside the scope. There's a chance of damaging the mirror. So we've got our wet gloves and my dry gloves here. Cotton wool. Isopropyl alcohol. This one's a 99.9% pure, so I don't need to make it quite strong as some people do, like 60-40 mixes. It'll be quite a weak mixture. And we've got some deionized water and some soap with no additives, so there's no colouring and no scent in it, just pure soap, and a new jug. We've got one clean sink here. And we've got one very dirty telescope. As you can see, there's a lot of mess inside the mirror area. Yeah, it's a bit of a bad picture for you to see. So I'm going to give that a clean tonight. Wish us luck. First thing I'm going to do is loosen the screws out the rear holding the mirror cell in. It's in quite tight, so you don't need to worry, well, I don't need to worry about it falling out and dropping on the floor. There you go. There's one dirty mirror. Just before we actually go ahead with this, you can see there's a little red marking on here. There's also a marking on the back of here. So I know what's going on with the mirror and where it's actually located for its orientation. Right, with the mirror out, I can actually remove this secondary mirror now. Because there's no mirror at the bottom, there's nothing for it to fall and drop against. Right. Quite a tight fit under here. That's the little screw came out. That's okay. Right, there you go. There she is. It's actually a little lock and spring that had fell on the floor. So it's a good job that I actually took the mirror out. Can you imagine that bouncing off the mirror? So I'm going to check the orientation of the mirror and make a little mark, and that will actually keep the mirror and the housing in good check as well. Just put a tiny little mark there and a little mark there. This is a permanent marker. It will come off, but it's probably best to leave it on. I'm now going to release the mirror cell from the housing. I'll also be keeping the actual connections, the screws in the mirror holder in the right order, so they'll go back in the same place. Last one. I try not to work with the tools above the mirror as well. Keep the tools on the outside of the mirror, just to keep it on the safe side. Right. Bring the screws out over. Right, so that's one mirror released from its housing. As you can see, it's very dirty. So this is lukewarm water. I'm just going to bring this mirror over and drop it in. I'm now going to add some soap to the water, just a couple of drops. And I'll just agitate the mirror in the water. I'm going to actually leave this to steep for a little while, and then I'm going to pop this one in as well, making sure that I don't actually bang one against the other. It's actually starting to look a little bit clean already. I never touch the mirror glass with my bare hands because of grease from your fingers. Even though you can wash your hands a million times, you'll still get a percentage of grease still on your skin. The only thing that should touch the mirror is starlight. It's been about 15 minutes, so I'm going to get a bit of cotton wool into the sink and get it nice and wet. Got 4 good bits there. Actually, I'll put another couple in. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the weight of the cotton wool just to drag across the side of the mirror, then turn it round and then get rid of it, and drag it across and turn it round and then get rid of it. Then we'll turn it 90 degrees again, drag it across, turn it round, drag it across, and I think that's as much as I'd want to really touch this. I'll go down the outside, turn it round, and I think that's as much as I'm going to do with that one. Give this a little rub by. Probably be able to do this in 2 passes. I think I might need one more. Just get another bit in. It's a mark on the side of it. Just turn this inside out. That's as much as I'm going to do to these. So I've had the little rinse. I'll just put the tap on just a cool flow of water. This is where you get your chance to have a look at the mirrors to see how bad they are. Still a couple of small marks on the outside. Let's get another bit of cotton wool. Right. Turn it round. There's still a few speckles. I think that's just going to be as good as it gets. Just give it a good rinse. I think I'll leave it to steep for a little bit longer. It doesn't look too bad. A couple of small bits. Let's get another bit of cotton wool. Turn it round. I think I'm going to leave it at that. There's a couple of small blemishes on this mirror, but I don't think I can do anything about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain this off now. And this is isopropanol and water mixed. I'll leave that for a little while, standing up. I'll just finish this off on here. And I'll just leave that to stand and dry. There's still a few water beads on here, so I'm going to try and promote it to dry with a cool or cold bit of air just running across it. And sometimes you can't get all the water off. And what you have to do is you have to use a bit of kitchen roll or something like that and just gently touch it onto the water. Try and absorb it. It's looking a lot better, that. Right under the mirror. another corner. I think I've got most of it. Right. So it's a lot better than what it was. There's a couple of small marks on it still. Some of them will be fibres, dust fibres. And I'm best off just leaving them alone, to be honest. There's a slight watermark. That's actually fibres. So there you go. I'm going to pop that back into the scope after the back's dried off. Just leave them there just to dry out fully. Another good tip is the bits of cotton wool that's left over. So I'm just going to give the inside of this a little clean, because there's a lot of dust in here. It'll only just end up back on the mirror again, so you may as well try and get as much of it off, you know. I'll show you what comes off. This is just with one quick pass, just at the base of the tube. As you can see there's some little bits of dirt on there. So we've got a bit more cotton wool, clean a bit. I feel like James Harriet at the moment. I'm just giving it a sweep over the inside. I mean, you may find a little bit of the, it could be a little bit of the paint that comes off, but it is quite dirty. There may be a small percentage of the matte paint from the inside coming off, but all in all I think it's best that it was cleaned anyway. There you go. That's the inside of the scope done, and just let that dry as well. Give it a little go with the hairdryer. It's starting to dry pretty quickly actually. And as you can see, right, I'm going to wash the lid now, because that's the next thing that can actually cause problems. It's now time to lock the mirror back into place. I'll be putting the same locks in the same places. Notice I'm wearing the dry gloves now. Now you don't want to tighten these all the way up, they should be naturally slack. supposed to be able to put a card in between them, like a plain card. Obviously I'm not going to ram a plain card in between, but they do need to feel a little bit slack. Keep my finger around the inside to shield the mirror in case I slip with the screwdriver as well. But they've gone in quite well. Just taking my time. There's no rush, no pressure. Feels a little bit tight, I'll slip them off half a turn. Right, last one. Still feels a little bit slack, a little bit of wobble on it. This one's a little bit too slack, I'll give it a half a turn. So there you have it. Right, I'm going to pop these back into the scope now. There's the little mark which lines up with the top. So I'll just bring that down a bit. Right. Just try and line them screw holes up. It's a nice snug fit, this. And that's it in place. So finally we'll just pop these screws back in. Not fully tighten it because there's another two to go in. And the last one. Right. Just need collimated now. I did actually put the eyepiece in first, the mirror for the eyepiece. We'll just have a little, I'll let you have a little look down the inside there now. hard to really see. Try and get some light on it. You can see it looks a lot cleaner. There you go. That's lovely, that. Good for another 3 or 4 years, I would say, if I keep the lid on. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel because there's going to be some nice reviews and some nice bits and pieces happening in the not too distant future. Thanks for watching. My name is Barry, SCI Videos.